Comfy Heart ASMR. Hello everyone, welcome back to Comfy Heart ASMR, and today I will be painting a wooden little hanging sign. This is a cute mushroom sign. I thought it would make some nice sounds. Plus, I love mushrooms, so I thought this would be a nice relaxing video to paint, sip some tea out of my mushroom mug, and have a little snack. I have these little peanut butter pretzel nugget bites, and I have different paints, my paintbrushes, water to rinse my brushes out, and a little painter's plate to put my little paints in, to maybe even mix some colors, and of course paper towel. Okay, so let's get started. So I was thinking for the border that I would like to paint the border this gold color, this metallic paint. I'm debating on the mushrooms. So I know we have this cherry cobbler reddish pink that I'll be painting some of the mushroom tops, probably this one. I have blue for the background, for like the sky, and I'll probably lighten this up with some white to make it a little bit lighter. And for our little snail here, I think I'm gonna do the little body will be graphite, which is like this little gray color, and I'll make the shell this pretty plum color. And some of the mushrooms, I also have these little colors here. I have burnt sienna and viridian green that I'll be using these. So yeah, let's get into it. And I have all types of brushes. Brushes that we can choose from. And I think I'm going to use this sponge brush to just do the outline of the painting. It's a little sponge. So So I'll get some gold paint on this little plate. And I'll wet my sponge a little bit. With a little bit of that paint. Start on the border. I hope that you all have been doing good, that you've had a great week so far, that you're not too stressed out. You've been taking some time for yourself to decompress. Practice your gratitude. And just do whatever makes you happy. I know sometimes it's hard to think about doing what makes you happy when you have to take care of others. You have people depending on you, counting on you. Whether that be your kids, your parents, your job. But still make time for yourself too. Because if you use up all your energy, you won't have much to offer anyone else. You don't want to burn yourself out too much. You always got to still take care of yourself. If you don't take care of yourself, you can't take care of those who need you, that are around you in your life. So don't forget that. Plus, if you're not showing up as your best self, then the people in your life, they'll start to feel like they're a burden to you. You don't want that, especially if you love them and care about them. So just make sure that you always take care of yourself first, so that you can be there for those who need you the most. You can show up for them with love, and not stress. That looks pretty good for a starting base. Today I'm drinking pomegranate green tea. Okay. Now that we got the border done, I want to move on to the background. I think I'll do the background first before I start on the mushrooms, so that I can have something to hold on to that doesn't have paint on it. I think I'm going to use this larger flat brush. Before I do that, rinse off the paint. From the sponge. And got that. Clean the sponge. And set that off to the side. Now I'll go in and wet this brush. I feel like the brush is really stiff. So for the background, I'm going to mix this blue with some white. I'll just put it here right in the center so that it's easier to mix up. I'll take the white out of one of these. Use a little bit of the white to try to lighten that up a little bit. Yeah, just mix that up. Just to give myself a lighter blue. I think that's pretty. And I think Bob Ross will be very proud of me. Doing my mixing, blending. I'll probably need more of this paint too, but this is a good start. Just take that. I think that's a beautiful sky. Get around these edges, these corners. Kind of hard to get around the mushrooms without touching them, but that's okay. I'll go over it. Do a touch of water. kind of spread it more. It doesn't have to be perfect. The sky is full of imperfections, but it's still beautiful. It is definitely nice to paint. Have some nice quiet time. It helps you to think, to be creative, to unwind, relax. Plus, I felt like it was the perfect day for it since today is definitely gloomy outside. We got a gloomy May day, spring day. It's not really warm outside at all. So I thought this would be the perfect activity for a gloomy day. I think I'm gonna do the sky blue, and then under in the back of these mushrooms at the bottom, I'm probably gonna do like a green to look like grass. I think that would be nice. So I don't keep getting paint on the mushrooms. So I'll set this brush over to the side for just a second. Wet up this brush. And then just get a little of that blue. And go right in. Right in the corners. Okay, now I think I'm gonna start on the green. I think we got enough sky here. I want to be able to incorporate the grass. So I'll take this Viridian. I'll have some. Put a little of that in there. I feel like grass is a little darker. I added in a little bit of black to darken up the green. I'll get in there with a smaller brush. This will simulate the grass. Oops. I'm not a painter, but I do know if your paint starts getting a little dry, you add a little bit of water. And then it will take you further. So you don't have to keep dipping into the paint. I actually got this wooden little sign, hanging sign from Joann Fabrics before they closed. It was one of the many things I got before they did their closing sale. They were going out of business. I don't know if they're going out of business everywhere or if it was just my location. I think it was everywhere. Which is really unfortunate. I know Joann Fabrics have been around for years. I don't know what people that like to knit, crochet, and all that. I guess they'll have to rely on Michaels now to get their fabrics and their yarns and all that. I'm actually going to take some of this green and just lightly blend it into blue because I feel like I went down too far with the blue. I just want to make it look like the grass is coming up nice and tall. Oh, I think I'll go into these corners here and repaint those green because I think I originally had them blue. Perfect. I think that is really pretty. And now we can get on to the actual mushrooms and their tops. Now that we finally got the background done. And let's see. The border is dry enough to touch now too. So for the mushroom stalks, I'm gonna do a mixture. I have this lighter, like tannish color, and then I also have the burnt sienna. So I'm gonna go back and forth with those colors and take a little popsicle stick. Get this color out of here. Then I'm gonna start going in with this lighter color and make that the color of the mushroom stalks. Put more water, lighten it up a little. I don't know if any of you like to watch the Bob Ross here on YouTube. They always have like a Bob Ross marathon. I like to watch those too. Something about Bob Ross, he's always so relaxing. I feel like he was like the original king of ASMR. His voice is always so calming and soothing. relaxing. I remember watching him on PBS when I was younger too. So it's nice that they have his videos on YouTube for other people to see. So I think that for these mushrooms, I feel like these mushrooms are always white. But for the painting, I think I'll paint them this same stock color. You know what? I'm gonna actually make the tops of these gold. Instead of white. Yeah, I love how Bob Ross always had a positive message in all of his videos about believing in yourself, being positive, doing anything that you set your mind to. And of course, I loved his little afro. I just loved that growing up. My generation and back, I don't know much about the cartoons and programs that are on nowadays for kids because I don't have any kids. But I do know back then, like stations like PBS were just so good to have. Were so accessible for everyone on all walks of life. You didn't need to have cable. Anybody could turn on PBS, and they always had, whether it was for stuff like Sesame Street or Arthur, all of these programs, every time they put them on, they all had a message of positivity. I love that I got to grow up in that era. I'm sure that they have probably good stuff on now, maybe for kids, but PBS is just everything. Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, of course, about promoting positivity for the kids. I love it. I'm really, really thankful I got to grow up in a generation that I did. Reading Rainbow, Between the Lions, all those were like my favorite shows. I would love coming home. I would love coming home from school. Definitely Make sure that I watch my shows. And no matter what the episode was about, whether it was some of the kids having a conflict or whatever, they always ended it with a message, a moral. I know Disney Channel definitely did that too when I got older. And I would watch shows like That's So Raven and stuff. They all had a good message at the end about how to treat others with kindness. How to believe in yourself. How to stand up to bullies. It was wholesome TV. Like I said, I don't know if it's like that anymore, but I know for my generation, it was definitely like that, and it was always good to look forward to. Let me know in the comments if you did grow up in that generation. Generations of Mr. Rogers, Arthur, reading Rainbow Between the Lions. Or even if you're a parent and you just remember showing your kids those programs. And let me know which was your favorite. I didn't have one favorite. They all were my favorites. I definitely love Sesame. Of course, I love Sesame Street ever since I was little. I even love Barney. I know they came out with some documentary about Barney. People hating Barney. I had no idea that people felt like that so strongly about hating Barney back in those days. I watched a documentary about it. It's really sad how people can just, I don't know, form such strong hate towards something that was meant to be positive. Positive force in kids' lives. And grown adults, like, literally hated this character. And the woman, she created the series for her son. But people just hated it. And as a kid, you don't hear about those things. You don't know what's going on. You know that. You just like it when you watch the show. I had no idea that the hatred was so strong. I still need to watch the documentary. I'm so late watching the documentary about Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. I did watch the documentary about Bob Ross. That was pretty sad. But I still have to watch the Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood one. Now let me me go and do that. I'll actually do it with this little fan brush. I'm just going with this burnt sienna. Kind of just make like little lines. Just to create like mushrooms all have that those like dingy lines. I'm trying. And buff it out into the water. Mushrooms are also perfectly imperfect, so it makes sense to add a little bit of dinginess to them. Kind of buff it out. Yep. I got those done, and now I'm gonna go in, do this big one. I'm gonna paint that this cherry cobbler red. I think that I can just paint over, yeah, because there's holes. So, just gonna paint over. red is done, I think I'm going to do true orange. I'm going that burnt sienna. Okay, so I got my 2 orange mushrooms, and I'm gonna do this one. I kind of want to do it yellow, like red and yellow. I'm gonna do this one red over here. We are almost done. I hope that this video has been relaxing for you guys. You all are doing something relaxing too. Whether that be reading or journaling. Whatever makes you happy. I'm gonna use a little bit of this yellow. I'll make this one yellow. So I'll go sienna, do an under part. Okay, so the mushrooms are done. The last thing that I have to do is this little snail. Like I said, I'm gonna do the shell purple, and then I'll do the little body, this graphite gray. I'll use the smaller brush for that. Start with the little body. Then I'll try to make the body more of a light gray, if I can. So I did the little bottom, more of a light, and then I'll do the little shell purple. So here is the final look of the mushroom. I think it came out beautiful. All the pretty mushrooms. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope that you enjoyed this video and that you got some relaxation. If you enjoyed it, make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe. Click the notification bell to be alerted when I post new videos. And I will see you in the next video. Bye.